Well, good morning. It is 10 o'clock now on August 11th. So we'll get started with the August edition of the Citizens Academy. And like always, what we do is we record these. We have to talk about the different topic. We record these, and then these will appear on our YouTube channel so that anyone can watch them at a later date. So our special guest today, Shauna Bonchik, our town planner, to talk about our comprehensive plan. Shauna, thanks for being with us this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Shauna, why don't you just kind of introduce yourself for those that maybe have not yet met you. You've been with us for a couple of months now.
Yes.
And kind of threw you into the fire and getting going with all kinds of different projects and things, including, a little thing called form-based code and conservation subdivision. I know you're talking about ridge lines. And then, oh, by the way, there's comprehensive plan. So.
Right. It's actually, it's been a whirlwind of the first few months, but I'm happy to be here. And I always like to tell people I am a resident in the town and have been for 13 years. So being able to work where I live, I think is really exciting and gives me a different perspective. So I'm happy to be here. Yes, there are many plans that the town has and has developed and has implemented, and it's really exciting. A little bit overwhelming in terms of volume, but like you say, it takes a little bit to get acclimated. So I'm working through that. But the comp plan update, I came in at the tail end, obviously, and all the work was done. So I was able to really, I appreciate it just because for one, it's a grassroots effort and it was done in-house, and that's actually really, I think, significant. So
well, and then all the real fun begins on the implementation of it, and that's all going to be used. So, but just getting to the point of getting the plan together and then getting it adopted, you're certainly right. You're coming in at a point in time where a lot of the citizen engagement has gotten us to this point, which has been wonderful. So and Emily is joining us this morning too.
Hi, Emily.
Oh, actually, I know exactly where Emily is. I can tell from the background. We'll put a plug in for Gateway Grill.
I was going to say that's Gateway Grill. If Sue's there, tell her I said hi. Is she working?
I think you're muted. Let's see. For some reason, you're muted. Now we can.
Okay.
Oh, hi.
Okay. Ding ding. I'm at Gateway.
Yes. Shocking.
And this is my coworker Rhonda. Good
morning. Hi, Rhonda. Good morning.
Rhonda.
And so yes, this is my third meeting, but I just rather take him at Gateway, so that way I'll have two breakfasts by the time I get to Doug's meeting at 11:30. And
it is. We always say coffee with the manager. So feel free to grab your cup of coffee. I got mine right here. Actually, on my County of Parks and Rec little.
Yeah, that's really nice.
I love it.
I like that.
All right, Shauna, we're going to keep moving here. Unfortunately, I got to jump off here at 10:30. So, Shauna, let's jump right into the comprehensive plan.
All right, great. So I am going to share my screen. Can you all see that?
No.
Okay.
You want me to share it for you?
Yeah, can you do that?
Sure.
Okay. Perfect.
So I will whoops, let me swap. There we go. So I'll do your mouse clicking and you can do.
Oh, yay. Okay, great. Well, you can, here we are. I'm going to update everyone on the comprehensive plan and highlight really the vision statement, which is what obviously guides us, and the goals that we have in the plan. A lot of people hear about plans, and I just wanted to kind of give a definition of what it is. And it gives us a view of where we are, because a lot of this document is data driven. where we are, what our demographics look like, you know, how many homes have we built, where have we grown, what are our existing conditions, and what do we want to improve. Based on all of that and based on community engagement, stakeholder involvement, staff, boards, we came up with a vision, and then the vision, and then a way to implement. So every community is required to have a comp plan, every town, and it also needs to be updated every 10 years. So the last update, and this does build on the last update from 2011. Next slide is good. So what is in our town's community vision? I kind of pulled out some of the buzzwords and some of the significant things that the town wants to do. And I'm not gonna, I mean, you can see here, our character and maintaining it is very important. So how do we do that? How do we do that? Not only do we protect what we have, but enhance what we have. Encourage opportunities for growth because that's necessary, but again, do it in a way that is cognizant of what we want to preserve. And of course, Canandaigua Lake is huge for us, protecting it and also protecting our quality of life here in the community.
You know, Shauna, one of the things that I'm always, I always try to point out whenever I'm speaking to a group that, you know, maybe out of town or maybe I'm at a conference somewhere. I think the town of Canandaigua is so unique and so fortunate that it's so diverse in terms of the different sections really of the town. So yes, there are pockets that are rural. You get down into the RR3, obviously, or even the Southern Corridor District, the SCR1, a lot of agriculture and rural, different components there. But I don't really know of that many communities that have 25 zoning districts or the pockets of, we have commercial, we have residential, we have high-end residential, we have, you know, multi-million-dollar homes on the lake and 10.5 miles of shoreline, but yet we also have industrial lands with an airport, and we have manufacturing, and then we also have the commercial corridors both on 332 and 5 and 20 and specifically the uptown area, and then you get into more of the different neighborhoods. So in terms of a vision for our community, I know that the group spent a lot of time talking about this because, you know, there are so many different components to that, and we all very much value and place the protection of Canandaigua Lake at first and foremost because that is extremely important to our quality of life that we enjoy. But there are so many other aspects also to the community of Canandaigua and specifically the town of Canandaigua and all the different facets that make it up. So it's a very unique community that is growing, unlike a lot of other communities in the state of New York or even nationally. We're seeing population increases, continued development in different areas. So it's a really interesting community.
Perfect. Yes. So the plan really is divided into strategic goals and areas that the town really feels is important to focus on. So I just have some slides about each one, and I wanted to you know, briefly go through them. Agriculture was called out. So each vision has goals with it and then action steps, which is actually really important because it gives us something to work with and some, you know, action steps that are prioritized. And our boards here, and that's what I'm learning and I love, our boards are very involved, and they move goals forward. And that's why we have so many amazing documents that have been adopted as code. So the agricultural board is incredible. And, you know, they have their ag enhancement plan. So action step would be to, you know, further the implementation of it, look at codes to lessen development pressure and concentrate development. So as Doug, as you were saying, yeah, we have nodes of of high intense development. So, you know, how do we keep them where we want them to be and preserve ag at the same time? So we're really cognizant of that, and it's called out specifically in the plan.
And then there's so many layers, as you were just saying, the agriculture enhancement plan itself. I want to say, I think it has 8 pages of action items to implement. And there's any number of different things actually in the agriculture enhancement plan that the ag committee continues to work on. So a lot of work to do, and there's a lot of opportunity for people to get involved. You know, it's really having those core documents that we can go back, and in particular, like for instance, the agriculture piece and the strategic farmland protection area that you've got on the map here, really goes a long way to help us when we're looking at the town and looking at development, or we're looking at a series of different planning initiatives, whether it's infrastructure, water, sewer, whether it's you know, a developer coming along, whether it's roadways. It gives us a good idea of, hey, what makes the most sense where. And this particular slide that you've got here, this is one of my favorite maps because it really does define the strategic farmland protection area, the Pettifer Brook Greenway, and you really get a sense of what we're doing from an agricultural protection and promotion standpoint.
Absolutely. And I again, have been here 2 months, but I've referred to this multiple times when we've looked at parcels for development, and it's an invaluable tool that we have. Agreed. All right. Natural resources we could talk about. And here's the thing, I mean, we could talk about all of these and I could go on and on, but I just want to, it's important to note that natural resources are integral, important, and defining for our community, and we recognize that. So again, we have action steps to implement very important goals for the town. Also, the Environmental Review Board, Conservation Board, if people don't know about this board, they really do a lot of amazing things, and they prioritize their goals from the comp plan. You know, that's what they're working with. They're cognizant of our natural resources and balancing development. So their work is amazing here. Here we go, cultural and historic resources. Just as a little shout out to Woolhouse Road and the Hun Cemetery, which I just think is amazing, incredible, the work you can see in the slide that's been done there. So we're very well aware of the invaluable assets we have here, and again, have a committee working, or multiple committees that work on preservation and historic resources. And we've already we collaborate, and I know that we're collaborating with the city or the County Historical Society. The grant, we just received a grant to finish the, Doug, what is the name of that grant?
So it's the second phase of the reconnaissance survey for
reconnaissance survey, right, for all of the historical resources. So I know one of the priority goals is Finger Lakes National Heritage Area designation, and our new historian is very involved, and you know, this is a very important part of our plan.
The cemeteries, that's an awesome photo. I haven't seen that photo before of Hun Cemetery there, but Hun Cemetery there on Woolhouse Road, just, you know, with the improvements you mentioned, the new fence and benches and flagpole, and there's a Daughter American Revolution sign there. It's an awesome place to go visit. That cemetery dates back to the 1800s, has really significant founders of our community are buried in that cemetery. And I know that our Newtown historian, Leif Hargesall, is working very hard to figure out ways to preserve some of those 200-year-old tombstones that are there, and looking at different initiatives. And one of the things we've even been talking about is the possibility of whether it's a project team or a committee or something relative to helping him relative to the preservation of some of those tombstones. I know he would be very interested in hearing from people. If you're interested, feel free to stop by the town hall and talk to Leif, or shoot him an email, give him a call, and it's really such a neat aspect. And we have 9 cemeteries in the town. Academy Cemetery is one of our largest cemeteries in the town of Canandaigua at the southern end of the town, and just a fantastic amount of history in our cemeteries.
Absolutely. All right, next slide. So I could not fit all of Parks and Rec on one slide. That's impossible. I mean, as a mother of 3 children and a resident, I can't say enough about our parks. They are so important to my children's well-being. And I mean, we're always going to Pierce Park. And I put Pirate Park for outhouse because that's what all the kids call it. As Lindsay, our new Parks and Rec director, would tell you, that we are getting a new pirate ship at Pirate Park. So there will be 2 dueling pirate ships, which is actually kind of fun for kids. But I digress, but still our parks are incredible and very, very important. We do have a Parks and Rec master plan. Again, like ag, very detailed. So to continue the work on that plan, we have a Parks and Rec committee. They're very busy facilitating new programs with the town parks and beautifying them. So just a shout out to Blue Heron Park in Uptown. Driveway was just repaved. If you are a disc golf player, we have a great course, which I think is in the next slide. Can you switch to the next one, Doug? Yes, okay. So I put in a little picture of the disc golf at Blue Heron. There's a really nice walking trail. Miller Park off of 21. And if you don't know, Ananda Park on County Road 16, you need to get down there because it's incredible. Both down by the lake and the slide at the bottom with the kids shows the upland where we have some really nice trails.
One of our citizen academies, Shauna, we did completely on Parks and Rec and kind of went through details. But, just pausing here for a second, the comprehensive plan is so critically important. And again, we're talking about the comprehensive plan here today for everybody. The comprehensive plan is the one document that is the umbrella. It's the umbrella that includes all this other stuff: agriculture, parks and recreation, sewer master plan, our water master plan, all the infrastructure stuff we're talking about. I know it touches on economic development. There's so many different components to historical preservation. The comprehensive plan is critically important because it really does shape the future of the community for the next 10 to 20 years. I mean, we say that, the recommendation is to update a comprehensive plan every 10 years. But realistically, you're shaping the vision for the next 20 plus, because if you were to spend the next 10 years implementing all those items, you're going to see that takes a while, but you'll see 20 years, 30 years down the road, the vision and seeing that stuff come to reality. And so all of these things that you're talking about are so awesome, and there are a lot of fun things to talk about, but these are all big pieces and components of the comprehensive plan. I know, Shauna, you have a lot of experience working on comprehensive plans and stuff. What would you say in your experience is probably the most important thing to remember about a comprehensive plan?
The most important thing to remember is that our plan is not going to sit on the shelf and collect dust. The most important thing, and I really appreciate you saying the umbrella, because when we as a town want to take an action on any of those, Parks and Rec, sewer master plan, infrastructure, we can, when this is adopted, we come back to this. This is our justification. This is our guiding document. This is what pushes us forward. And and it helps for many things: funding, grants, justification to change a zone. Well, this is what we were looking at in the master plan 5 years ago. Here's our justification for it. So we have to use it. And that's why these visions and these goals and the implementation, which is outlined in the plan, are so important. So to answer your question, the most important thing is for us to not ignore that we have this document and use it. Economic development. I wanted to highlight the CanandaiguaMeansBusiness.com, the local development corporation's website. I think it's a great resource, and I just want to push that out there. Doug, you sit on the board. It's incredible, and it's really, you guys are shaping the economic development future of the area, and it's not just the town of Canandaigua.
Yeah, I'm so excited about, and they're learning how to fly. They've just flown, they jumped out of the nest, and they're learning how to fly. It's a brand new entity getting going, but it's the possibilities are endless, and it's a joint collaboration between the city, the town, and the Chamber of Commerce. And it puts us in a very unique position that we can go after things that otherwise it would have been difficult for us to go after. And one of those, and I'll just do a teaser here, we're working on a very large economic development initiative, the city and the town, specifically for the town and the city, which could really launch us for the next 10 years and what that might look like. But it's an opportunity for the LDC to help position us as a very strong community that has the ability and the horsepower to not only make an application, but actually then to implement whatever it is that we've applied for, and make sure that we see it through to completion between our two municipalities in particular. So it gives us a lot of ability to get things done.
All right, residential and neighborhood character. Very important to preserve and maintain what we have, but cognizant that, yes, we are unique and that we are growing, and we do have development pressure for all sorts of housing units. And again, affordable housing is something that is going to be in this slide and one of the next ones. And we do have a new committee that is looking at that, because it's very important. Transportation, again, something that we, modes of transportation, very, very integral, and, how to implement rural and farm safety and maintain character, trails, the Auburn Trail and that connection. This is a little, is that a picture? Yeah, that's Auburn Trail. No, that's actually just a trail, but Auburn Trail, I should have put that map in here. I don't think I did. The connectivity of the Auburn Trail, very important, something that we're looking at, and we're very aware of with new development, how to maintain that connection and further the connection of public and pedestrian transportation through mixed use development patterns. So we're very transportation is part of this plan. And what is this? Oh, the complete streets. I'm not going to go into that, but another initiative that we have on Middle Cheshire Road and other areas in the town. Sewer water, this is infrastructure, sewer water master plan. Continue work on the implementation of stormwater management. It's very, very important to us. Sucker Brook, and you've done a whole presentation on how we've really furthered efforts for lake quality and stormwater management in rain events. Also increase and continue efforts to divert waste from the landfill. Very, very important. So here we are, wrapping it up, town operations. And that's really in our internal work here, the employees of the town. And, one being, one of the action steps I pulled out is continue work on emergency preparedness, including as it relates to COVID-19. And then basically to wrap it up, how do we continue to monitor the initiatives in this plan and measurables and track our progress? So going back to what Doug says, that the plan doesn't get shelved, and here we go. So I just wanted to highlight again that this plan is grassroots. It's amazing. It's different. We didn't hire consultants to do it. So I think that gives us a real stake in the plan.
So
And
Shauna,
yes.
next steps for the plan. If I want to learn more about the plan, or I want to understand what it's happening with the plan, what's the next steps?
And the next step is come to you can find the plan on our town's website, and it will be adopted Monday, we hope, at the town board meeting on the 16th of August. And thank you. If you have any questions, you can always email me or call me at town hall.
So, okay, I'm on the website real quick. Where do I find the comp plan? Let's do it
Okay,
together.
so go to the search bar at the top. That's where I always go, and type comp plan. Yeah. And enter. And there it is on the left, comprehensive plan update. You will have the most up-to-date version from the 16th of June there on the left. Also, if you're interested in the history of the update, it's there as well.
And then the whole entire document and all 138 pages. So the town board meeting you referenced is next Monday, August 16th at 6 p.m. Where we will be holding the public hearing. The town board is continuing the public hearing to hear public engagement relative to the comprehensive plan, and obviously anybody's welcome to make any comments or anything with regard to that. So, Emily, do you have anything you'd like to jump in here? Sorry, we've got to keep this one a little on the shorter side there versus what we normally do because of another engagement here. But Emily, anything you'd like to jump on? You're still muted. Should be able to unmute. Let me try this. There you go.
There.
Okay. Well, as working with the town to highlight what Shauna has said, it is so important and so advantageous that there is such community involvement, and there are all these committees. So it is a true comp plan that the town owns. It's really the town's vision. And from a grant writing perspective, being able to not only reference the plan itself, but how the plan has come about and how it has been updated, and the engagement all the way through is fantastic. And Canandaigua just shines with that. And so I think you just keep doing the good stuff that you're doing. And it certainly helps me as a grant writer when I'm writing on behalf of the town to show that commitment, that organization of ideas and public support.
Thank you so much, Emily. That's very nice of you to say. And, we launched in 2014, we launched our Citizens Implementation Committee, our award-winning Citizens Implementation Committee. And it's fabulous. It's amazing what that group of volunteers does for coffee and donuts every 2 weeks. But they have continued every 2 weeks since 2014, even through COVID, meeting by Zoom, and really making sure that the comprehensive plan is implemented. That is the whole sum and total of the responsibility of the CIC to implement the comprehensive plan, and they do a great job in monitoring that and stuff. So, Sean, I think you also have a strategic planning session coming up, which would be open to the public if somebody wants to participate.
Yes, we do have a strategic planning session on our vision and implementation of the plan on September 22nd. We have not set a time yet. We will obviously announce it, but it will be at Crouch Hall in Onondaga Park.
Awesome. So, well, thank you, Shauna. Thanks for the presentation. Emily, thanks for joining us. And Rhonda, thanks for joining us today on this edition of the August edition of the Coffee with the Manager. But thank you, everybody, for those of you that are getting to watch this. I hope this gives you a little bit more insight on the comprehensive plan, where to find that. And as always, please feel free to contact us with any questions. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.